We're planning for 2025 financially. This morning, I welcome Senior Director of Business Coaching and Advisory Services at More Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Nigel Romano, via Zoom. Good morning to you, Mr. Romano.
Good morning, Rockers. How are you? And Happy
So
New
far,
Year.
so good. How are you doing this morning? Happy New Year.
I am wonderful, thank you.
All right, so first of all, tell me how important it is for us to have a financial plan at the beginning of the year to face the year with our best foot forward.
Well, let me first start by saying that this is not rocket science and there is no quick fix. In a world where data is at our fingertips, we have all the social media, the level of ignorance of financial matters is still sky high. Many people don't understand the basics, the time value of money, the power of compound interest. Many are afraid of banks and have very superficial relationships with them. So, achieving financial freedom takes discipline and focus, and that requires that one has a plan. And the first thing that you have to put in place there is that you must know your numbers. You must make wise choices and put structures in place to help you to execute against whatever plans that you have.
Okay, so that's a good place to start, knowing your numbers.
All right.
How do we get to know get to know the right numbers that we have? Because I know sometimes you might think you're making a certain amount, you're spending a certain amount. You might say, well, yeah, I spend about $1,000 in the grocery, but then you go back to the grocery every week and you don't count do small spends. How do we track the money that we're spending?
Well, I mean, I've shared a worksheet that we could put up later, but have to monitor and you have to measure, and you have to sit with your wife, with your significant other. If you're a single person, you sit with yourself and write down literally. Okay, this is how much my take home pay is. This is how much I make from my side gigs. You put that down, and then you keep track of the monies you spend that you have to spend, your rent, your insurance, your loan repayments. Hopefully, those will be small, but you have to take the time to write down those things and ensure that you know what is available.
All right. So I'm seeing the worksheet that you have here, and you have it written down from an
Right,
annual perspective. So is it that we do that
right.
at the beginning of the year and plan out for the year, or is it that we continuously track this throughout the year?
Well, you should be able to. Most of us are on fixed incomes. Okay, we know the salaries we're going to get or the monies we're going to make. So we want to put that down. At the end of the worksheet, you will break it down to a monthly and even a daily number, and we will talk about the magic number. But the idea there that you want to make sure that you know what your spend is like. Your rent is not likely to change. Your loan repayments are not likely to change. The amount of money you spend on gas and groceries is again not likely to change. Public transport, life insurance, health insurance, child care. And you see the monthly recurring payments, debt, savings. You notice I put a lot of focus there on savings for your
Mhm.
emergency fund, your retirement, children, other things. It's important that you document these things.
All right. So you mentioned savings, and earlier on you mentioned
Mhm.
compound interest and understanding
Right.
how to make your money
Yeah.
work for you. A lot of people have this idea that yes, so you have these. I saw you have about three or four different options for savings there, right? So you have your
Hmm. Hmm.
retirement, you have your vacation, etc., etc. Can you
Hmm.
save yourself into being financially well off, or do you have to? There needs to be investment as well?
There definitely needs to be investments. One of the biggest investments you should be focused on is saving for your house. And in that case, what we're talking about there is making sure you have the down payment because you won't pay cash for your house. Your objective there is to get enough money to have the down payment so that you can get a mortgage. All right. A lot of us fear budgeting, but there is something that I learned called the magic number.
Mm-hmm.
The magic number is the money available for spending every day on things like groceries, gas, dining out, and entertainment. And how you calculate is that you take those fixed annual payments, mortgage, rent, electricity, car, other loan payments, insurances, mobile phone, internet, cable, and you divide that by and you subtract that, you deduct that from your annual take home pay and divide the result by 365. That gives you what we refer to in financial planning as your magic number. So give you an example. If you and your wife earn $10,000 a month after tax each, your
Right.
annual take home income will be $240,000.
Right.
If your fixed annual expenses, those things I talked about, rent, insurance, that kind of stuff, um, come up to 150,000, then you are left with about 90,000 for groceries, education, etc. That's 7,500 per month or $246.58 per day. That is your magic number.
Okay. So
And
with this,
that
so
number informs your decision as to whether you should eat out or prepare your own meals or eat cricks.
so then you're not factoring in things like groceries as a fixed cost.
No, because what you spend on the groceries is not fixed. It depends on your choice. What you spend on fast food is not fixed, right? If you prepare your own meals, so you're going to work and you're living far from home, instead of going out to eat, you prepare a sandwich or soup or something.
Right.
That varies. So you can manage that.
What is the biggest challenge people face when it comes to holding on to these plans that you have? Because we can have this magic number and we could say, yes, 246 is how much I have to spend on a daily basis, 7,500 a month. I'm working it out like that, and that's how much I'm spending on groceries, on eating out, on all the other things
That
that I
you
need
have
to
to
get to.
spend, yeah.
But then
Hmm.
there comes a week or 2 weeks or a length of time where we end up in a situation where I'm working every day, so I don't have time to prepare a meal. I'm going out and buying food every day, and I go on past that 246. I go on past that number. How do we get back on track? Is there a way to get back on track, or is discipline absolutely paramount when
Discipline.
it comes to this?
You kind of mentioned it earlier on when at the start of the show about discipline and focus. There is no secret to discipline. As I tell people all the time, you don't want to live like a beggar. Scrooge. The magic number is a guide. It lets you know how much you can spend on that movie or aligning with friends. It also forces you to pay yourself first. Put
Mm.
aside money for your emergency fund first. Invest in that annuity to ensure that you are building your retirement savings. Make the hard choices now. And remember, easy choices, hard life, hard choices, easy life. I can't tell you any different.
Mr. Romano, what about the people who are concerned that, all right, I want to be able to enjoy things now. I don't want to have to wait because tomorrow is not promised. I want to be able to say, well, all right, I have a little something here. I want to enjoy. You know what I mean? Because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, not everybody is making $10,000 a month or more. Lots of people are making less than that. And if it is,
No,
I were to
no.
say, all right, I'm putting aside X amount of money for annuity, for emergency fund, I end up with $20 when I'm done. I have $20 a day to spend, um, which doesn't afford me the opportunity to eat out very often. But if I save up that $20 for the
No.
week, I could say, all right, let me buy something nice at the end of the week. Is that practical, or is it that we should be saving some more of that so that you could buy something even better the following week? How should we approach it?
the point is, and I go back to the choices. If we make the easy choices today, life will be harder later on. If we make the hard choices today, life will be better later on. Again, I mean, your co-host talked about the 5K, and I hope you're going to join her in the 5K because I intend to do many 5Ks this year.
Good
The
for
point
you.
is that if we invest time in our health, if we invest time in our in making the hard decisions now, putting aside for the rainy day, investing for our home, investing in education for ourselves or our children, life will be better on down the road. And that is the bottom line.
So that's some of the investments. But what sort of practical investments do you suggest for people who might have extra funds
The-
available and say that they want to invest in something that would have financial return? Because yes, we mentioned investing in your health. We mentioned making sure that your family and your education is intact. But what about somebody? People always talk about those stocks and bonds and things of that nature. Should we be investing in those things as well?
Well, one of the things that I like in our local situation is the unit trust, the TT dollar US fund, the TT dollar fixed income fund, and the growth and income fund that the UTC offers. Those are, paying some reasonably attractive returns in this environment, and they are relatively risk free. The risk of losing your money is quite low. The alternative would be to invest in government bonds. Those are very, very secure, and you can get maybe 4 or 5% returns. And of course, the alternative is to go into the stock market. Our stock market is a very limited, very narrow stock market. There is not much choice. If you have the ability to earn US dollars and secure US dollars, it may be possible to invest in what I call exchange traded funds in the US stock market through the local investment community. So those are some of the alternatives. But locally, for the man in the street, the UTC's US dollar, TT dollar fixed income fund, and the growth and income fund are quite attractive investments. And you can invest as little as 100 TT dollars to buy 5 units at $20 a unit for the fixed income fund.
Okay. Well, that's good advice. I hope that people are paying attention and they're able to see, well, they're going to start their investments if they haven't done so already and be able to track their financial progress. But is there a recommendation for how you track that progress? Besides, I mean, we talk about writing it down. We talk about checking what you're saving, what you're spending. But how do you check and see if you're going along with the plan, if you're going good?
I mean, I'm not familiar. I mean, a simple spreadsheet should help.
Okay.
I can send you the spreadsheet to go with that document that I send, and people can access it. I don't know how you will get it to them, but the point is that there are opportunities. You have to have the discipline. A simple spreadsheet, add up the income, deduct the expenses, and keep track, and you should be in good shape.
And I think that's a good place for us to leave this conversation this morning, Mr. Romano. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing a bit of your knowledge when it comes to financial planning. And I hope that people are taking it as we head into 2025 full steam ahead.
All right, good. You take good care.
You too. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
Nigel Romano, Senior Director of Business Coaching and Advisory Services at More Trinidad and Tobago, sharing with us a little bit of how we can be strategically planning for the financial future and make it make sense. Because a lot of times we might be planning and we don't always put that discipline. The discipline is really, really the important factor that I think I take from that conversation. Making sure that we pay attention and stick to it, yeah? We take a quick break and we come back with more on the Now Morning Show. Stick around.
Story time! Hurry, hurry! Why, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh.